Hello, House of Metamorphosis tribe. Welcome back to the channel where we're transforming hairdressers from the inside out. This is my third attempt to do this video today. It keeps on disconnecting, cutting out, doing all sorts of magical things. It's wonderful. Either I'm not getting the content right or I just need to reiterate what it is that I'm trying to say today. And the message is today is I wanted to take a look at my tagline, transforming hairdressers from the inside out, and bring some context to it. Why I focus, like my subheading of the House of Metamorphosis, the secondary focus is about transforming hairdressers from the inside out. And the reason behind it is that all the work that we do with our clients, all the work that we do with ourselves is based on how we feel about ourselves from the inside. It's from our internal landscape. And let me expand the internal landscape. The internal landscape is how do you feel about yourself, about life, about situations, about what's going on right now, here and now. How do you sense, how do you connect with other people based on your value systems and your belief systems? Where are the threads that connect you to other people based on how it is that you feel internally? So when we're transforming you, we're actually getting to know who you are from the inside, and that starts reflecting on the outside. You don't need to communicate your internal beliefs. You start representing them in the way that you show up in life. And once you stand in this power of self-knowing and self-actualizing, what happens is it prompts your clients to engage in a very similar mindset. They start being inspired by how you hold yourself, and therefore you are confident and professional enough to start helping them open up into their internal landscape. Why is this important? If you're creating hair for your clients based on their shape, their face shape, the way that they dress, and how, a picture that they brought in, if you've actually just transformed your clients just from the external, elusive evidence that you have, it's not enough. And this is where dissatisfaction will come from with your clients, and they'll be dissatisfied with a service, especially if they spend a lot of money on it, because they didn't have a human connection. They didn't have an emotional connection to what was created. Looks great on the outside, but I'm not feeling it. Looks great on the outside, but it isn't who I am. Looks great on the outside, but it just doesn't feel right. It just feels fake. It feels inauthentic, and this is where it's coming from. And the reason why I'm bringing this and highlighting it is because I believe we're moving into more of that now. The younger generation is really stepping into embracing their authenticity, and they're moving closer and closer to who they are than they're not. So, the past of the elusive, sort of like over-processed, over-blow-waved, over-styled hair. Yes, there's going to be a market for that, but I'm talking about your everyday human being that comes to see you for a haircut, and they don't style their hair very much, and they're not really into all that world, but they just need a haircut. They need it tuned in. And how do you connect with those people? How do you actually find value, or give them value, and give yourself value actually in the interpersonal connection that you have with them, by giving context, internal context, to what it is they're feeling and who it is that they are, and helping them self-reflect by your craftsmanship. By taking all of that information about who they are and their values and their beliefs, and their hair shape, their hair type, their face shape, and their body shape, and all of the things encapsulate. This is professional, consultation. It's from the inside out. It's not just from the outside. It's like when you're working with the evolved model, you're working from the inside out, and we're taking into consideration the entirety of the person. And then we're creating from that place, because that's the most authentic place to create from. And it is substantial. It gives a client an experience, and it also helps a client connect with themselves. And in this world of AI, the fast movement of AI, where it's actually taking us further and further away from human connection and more, closer to digital connection, we're going to find in our touch industry, we're going to find more and more people are going to be reaching out to actually just for connection. So how do we bring connection, real connection, to the table in our experiences with our clients? This is a really important thing, and it starts with you, hairdressers. It starts with you, my hairdresser that I'm speaking to in this moment. It's like, who are you in this context, in this experience, in this exchange? Who are you? What do you stand for? What is the value system in which you uphold? And how much do you know yourself without being performative? Are you confident enough to actually stand in your authenticity and hold yourself in your power and your knowing and what you believe in and your value system, and feel confident in actually coming out? And I'm not talking about performing or putting on a mask to do this. I'm talking about genuinely being comfortable with who you are, not being the performative hairdresser, being the authentic hairdresser. The person that stands for real value, the person that stands for real truth and belief. And once you actually grasp yourself, and again, we study all of this in the Evolve curriculum, once you actually get a grasp of who it is that you are and what you stand for, and you start understanding the psychology behind it is what we do, and the communication skills that are required, to understand how to communicate and relate professionally, what happens is you have the capacity to start delving into the internal landscape of your client. You have the capacity to start creating very authentic expressions for your clients with their hair. But more importantly, your clients feel heard, seen, and felt. And their sensory body, their emotional landscape actually becomes engaged in the experience, and therefore substance and connection and value is made from the experience that they've just had with you. So they don't just leave your salon going, my hair is great. They leave your salon feeling great from the inside out. And that's retention. That's client retention. That's staff retention, because there's value and purpose behind what it is that you're bringing to the table with your work and your clients. And yeah, I just felt like actually just talking about it, because I always pronounce, transforming hairdressers from the inside out. And it's like, what is that? What does that mean? What does it look like to transform hairdressers from the inside out? And your clients, of course. But yeah, and if you are very curious about what it is that I do here at the House of Metamorphosis, please go to the houseofmetamorphosis.au. Check out the Evolve curriculum, the Initiation Self-Mastery course, and also my one-on-one mentoring, which is transformative and exponential in growth. Working with me one-on-one, love working with my clients one-on-one. We just create unbelievable transformation, and it really inspires me how my clients really get in and really commit to change and commit to meeting themselves. It's awesome. Beyond that, if you love what I am sharing here on this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that it may grow and people that are interested in this content may be reached with it. And outside of that, thank you so much for your time, your presence, and your attention. And I so look forward to sharing another little piece next time.